We are blessed to be able to have a fresh start every day. You know, you just got to be able to kind of have confidence in yourself and belief in yourself, surrounding yourself with good people. You know, when I realized that there was a huge community out there of believers and people that were committed and dedicated to the church and helping other members of the community and really be a support system, that was a wonderful thing. So I think not being afraid to ask for help and, you know, and searching and seeking out people that can help you, but also, you know, believing in yourself. I've seen so many wonderful stories of people who are, you know, kids up for adoption, and, you know, and they have multiple siblings in the youth services department or within the adoption system, and they're deciding that they're going to go and get an education on their own and go and take care of their family. And, you know, there's so many wonderful success stories out there. Just you have to believe and have faith and know that you can accomplish it and turn your life around. You know, because my parents worked so hard just to provide, I had a lot of time to myself, and most of that time I spent running around the streets, getting a street education. I left school at an early age. I quit school at 13. Ended up getting into a lot of trouble, being incarcerated, tried as an adult at 16, 17. And that was a big wake-up call for me, Father. So I decided, you know what, I needed to turn my life around. And a lot of people go to God, especially when they get in trouble. And, you know, when I heard the jail doors close behind me, I started praying right away. But I knew that that was just the beginning for me, because I knew I really wanted to turn my life around. And I made a commitment at that day, but it was still, you know, it's still every day. It's a process, you know. That's why I start my day every day by getting on my hands and my knees and starting a time of prayer and reading scripture. And then I feel like I can go out there and conquer the world, you know? And,
That's great.
or at least do my job and give back, because I've been blessed so much, and I know, you know, God put me in this position for a reason. Oh gosh, well, I honestly feel like, you know, and it's been a process, because it's really a huge part of my life, and certainly a big part of my daily routine and how I start my day, and reading and praying and kind of focusing on the task at hand. But I always feel like if I put my mind to something and I really do the work, I can accomplish something. And then if things don't turn out, because I live and breathe, and, you know, my primary business is based on a lot of failure and success, right? But it's never for lack of effort. And as long as I do everything I can to do my best, then I feel pretty darn good about the effort. And sometimes I win and succeed, and sometimes I don't. But I always felt like if I didn't do everything I could to prepare, then that's when I had regret, and that's when I felt disappointed in myself. No, you know, it's one of those things where, I mean, I just really have to genuinely, I feel remorse when I've made mistakes. If I could go back and do a lot of things over, I would, and I know that I can't. So I think the way that I can kind of continue to give back and to do things for other people, and especially for the less fortunate, you know, because again, I've been blessed in so many ways, and I think, you know, obviously with those blessings comes a lot of responsibility, and I welcome that responsibility, and I look for ways to give back and influence people and inspire people to go out and do great things. But yes, the hard part is forgiving 7 times 70 times, with especially people that are close to you that, you know, may have done you wrong, but in order to be forgiven, you must forgive. And I would say that's sometimes more difficult.
Right.
When you think about the evil and the things that are happening in the world, especially to innocent people, women, children, it's very difficult.
Yeah.
Very difficult. But, you know, I know that that's what you're supposed to do, but I also would understand, my God, being a father and something happening to one of my children, would I be able to forgive? Never mind being quick to forgive, be able to forgive. I mean, hopefully I would never find myself in that position, but it is a challenging thing. I think it's a lot easier to ask for forgiveness than it is to forgive when you know, you've been dealt with, you know, serious stuff. It has. I've been very fortunate. You know, I don't take any of it for granted. I don't feel any sense of entitlement. I feel like I've worked really hard, and I've been very fortunate. I've made some good choices, and I've made some bad choices, but my intentions have always been good.
But you're now also a very successful producer, and you produced this film, so you are keeping extraordinarily busy. What sort of stories attract you?
Anything that is grounded in reality, and at the core of it is an emotional center.
and there's a purpose behind it. But I also like entertainment too. You know, I try to, as an actor and as a producer, I try to mix it up as much as possible. I don't want to be pigeonholed into one kind of category and told that that's what you can do and you can't do anything else. I think it's also in how you choose to live your life and who you choose to live your life with. You know, I'm not married to an actress, so, you know, the paparazzi doesn't bother me all that much. You know, after being in prison, incarcerated, it's not that big of a risk. You know, if you succeed, great. You try to work as hard as you possibly can. You do the best that you can to succeed. But failure in this business, it's inevitable to a certain extent. And, you know, it could be a lot worse. I feel very fortunate, very blessed. If it all went away tomorrow, I would have had a great run. I just work really hard to try to maintain it.